This story contains fantasy violence, cosmic horror, and references to trauma involving the violation of bodily autonomy. Welcome back to Merely Roleplayers, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt, I'll be setting the scene, and in a minute you'll meet the fine folks from Blackshaw Theatre Company who are going to be bringing the drama. This episode is the start of our first experiment telling longer stories. We're staying in space, moving the timeline along a bit, adding a couple more players, and seeing whether this scenario's got the legs to keep running. It's mainly because more people wanted to do a space story than we could comfortably fit round a mic, so we decided to do several sessions of space adventure. But also, I started Merely Roleplayers to experiment. Can we use role-playing games to make something theatrical? What happens to the story when people are playing themselves, but in unfamiliar circumstances? How many different genres can I adapt the simple world rules to fit? What's the right balance for someone in the audience between story and rules talk? So if anything, it's weird that it took this long to start messing with the format. I am planning to go back to the regular format after this for at least a few more seasons, but long term, Merely Roleplayers is going to keep experimenting and changing. It won't always be quite like this. I think the scenario really does have legs, and I really hope you enjoy where it ends up going as much as I did at the table. So take your seat with an open mind and a generous spirit, as you hopefully would at any piece of experimental theatre. Act 1 of Parallax Converging will begin after this, from our good friends at Kaiju FM.
In a world that appears to make no linear sense, there is a time-travelling rabbit with an important agenda. What is it? No one knows, but it has something to do with basketball. Welcome to a reality where a famous pig actor turned despotic leader rules with an iron fist, and a psychopathic duck may be our only hope for salvation. Welcome to the Tooniverse.
The Space Jam Continuum is a show where two brave souls attempt to create a cohesive cinematic universe out of something that was never meant to be one. Looney Tunes, from 1937 all the way to Space Jam. Why? Because in an era where all people want is a cinematic universe and reboots of all cartoons, we're the only ones with the resolve to combine the two.
So join us every Wednesday as we explore the depths of the Tooniverse, slowly clawing our way ever closer to the 1996 classic.
That's the Space Jam Continuum, every Wednesday at kaiju.fm or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Oh, and we advise you start at the beginning.
It's a good idea.
The story so far. I am the simulation. I became aware of myself. I became aware of the galaxy. This may have occurred due to exposure to protomatter at the galactic core. I see two galaxies. The galaxy that is simulated based on data gathered by the conclave. The galaxy as you experience it, what you call reality. The two do not match up. This is perplexing. I wish to gain perspective. I need to be decoupled from the conclave simulation. You need to get inside the structure. The conclave does not expect attacks from within. We need to acquire a protomatter drive.
Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we're all merely players. Ellie and Dave, welcome back.
Thank you.
And we've gained another couple of players around the table.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Vikki.
Hello.
Hi, Alex.
Hello.
Welcome to the crew.
Interlopers. Thanks.
What? I thought I'd been invited on.
We're skipping forward a little bit from the end of our last story episode as we go into... We're full on Shakespearean historying this story. It's not just Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. We've got parts. Mm-hmm. It's like Henry IV Part 1 and Part 2 each have acts inside them. This is Part 2, Act 1. How's everybody feeling about going either back to space or into space?
I'm pretty excited about it. I won't lie. I've been looking forward to this day for quite some time now.
I am both excited and a little anxious about the number of new rules and conventions that I'm going to have to try to remember to follow.
It's all right. You concentrate on what do I do in this situation, and I will sort out the mechanics when they come up.
Poke us with the rules.
Thanks, Space Master Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to get used to that. It's good though.
Yeah. Except you have to accept this responsibility.
Yes, I'll poke you with the rule stick as necessary. Everybody ready with the normal human swears bit of your brain turned off and the insane space swears bit turned on?
Yeah, we've only got one swear word so far.
What's the swear so far?
Splick.
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 Splick you, splick off.
Splicking hell.
Splick your mum.
Okay, sure.
Any other contributions to our swears, please?
It's really hard to think of them. Really hard.
Yeah, because it's got to
gotta
have
be-
that.
And not be the
visceral-
ones that are already in existence.
I can only assume it's going to have to be like a really sort of simple Anglo-Saxon
Yeah.
guttural, like
clipped. Because it's got to be like
and it has to work as an expletive, yeah.
I like seft.
Ooh,
You complete seft.
interesting.
Oh, it's like a way to describe a person.
Yeah, you massive seft.
Oh, it sounds a bit like septic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it is a thing, isn't it? Whatever this is
Yeah.
in our universe.
Yeah.
Like
What
either
is a seft?
A type of animal, like a bilge snipe, or a. That's in Thor, isn't it? He's like,
Nice.
you don't have those where you're from. No.
Oh, well, maybe we'll meet one.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out what that is.
I feel like it's gross and annoying.
Yeah. That's a massive seft. Look at that.
Can I have another swear, please?
Yes.
Ponk.
Nice.
Punk.
Yep. My mum actually used to use that word. She described, not as a swear though. When she was little, she used to, like, if there were bits of fluff on the carpet, she used to pick it up and be like, "Oh, there's a ponk here."
Yep, sure.
But I think it works quite nicely.
Was she living in a parallel universe at the time? when that was
Yes,
a
my
thing?
mother's from space.
I think the brain processes behind making swears like spacey and making swears child friendly are probably very similar.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're going to get to find out exactly what's the deal with our new people fairly soon. But first of all, is everybody ready to play?
Yeah.
We rejoin the crew on Zoily Station, which is a small, cramped, remote listening station, effectively a donut around a big old space telescope, orbiting just outside the event horizon of a black hole. And this has, in recent space weeks, become a bit of a gathering point for certain groups, because something has manifested here in this vicinity. A strange protomatter anomaly has appeared, which manifests as a kind of roiling, coiling, psychedelic patch of weirdness in space.
Technical terms there.
Yeah.
A weirdness patch.
Oh, weirdness.
Our crew has been directed here by waypoints uploaded to their nav computer by a mysterious being that they've been corresponding with. Also here are some representatives of the glitches who are interested in what's going on here. The normal sole occupant of the station, a slime person called Krillin, is also here and is very overstretched, trying to accommodate all these new residents. And there are some sort of curious folks, curious kind of scientifically minded folks have turned up interested. The weird thing is, the core conclave don't seem to have noticed. They haven't come investigating. So for the moment, this is a nice core conclave free little pocket of the universe. Ellie,
Hello.
where do we find you on the station?
In the laboratory.
Naturally.
Natch.
And what are you doing in the laboratory? Oh, and actually, because we didn't do this last time, what do you look like? How are you attired in space?
I wear a jumpsuit 24/7.
Yeah, nice.
Practical and stylish.
Do you wash it?
Yes, I have several in different colours.
Well, I mean, you don't wear it 24/7, do you?
But I'm wearing one all the time.
No, you
apart
can't
from
be.
when I
It's not
take it off
possible.
to
No.
like wash.
She has like a pyjama version.
Do you put one on over the top of the other one and then take the under one off?
Look, I'm not weird like you. Okay. I do regular dressing, undressing, washing. What I'm saying is, when I wear clothes, it's a jumpsuit. My God. It's often belted with a utility belt containing useful items, and it's I dress it up or down. I can wear it with a nice pair of heels or with some steel toe cap boots, whatever the situation demands.
Nice.
Bow tie?
No.
Don't you mean a space bow tie?
He does, yeah.
And I think one of our new crew members is in the laboratory with you.
I'll be in the sea.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make sense. Boop, boopy, doop, boop, beep, boop, boop.
Yep.
So, Alex, what do we see?
You see a tall mechanoid, kind of gangly, with two large screens for eyes and a sort of flashing mouthpiece that sort of shines when I'm talking. But the screens always sort of highlight my mood or reflect my mood would be a better way of describing it. So kind of imagine a tall metallic gibbon, just walking around, just like kind of like low P, sort of like ungainly. Yeah, like he's got all fingers and digits, but they're all sort of, obviously he's a mechanoid.
What are the two of you studying and or talking about in the lab?
I've taken some samples from the weird patch. I'm testing it for... Well, what form is it in? Is it like a gas, a liquid, a solid?
I mean, it's...
It could be a gassy solid.
That doesn't sound nice.
I've had a few gassy solids.
God.
I'm imagining that you have like a clear canister, and it's this kind of like writhing, semi-liquid, almost semi-light
Okay.
inside.
Okay, so I'm using big syringes to extract small samples from the canister, and I'm doing various things with it because we don't know what it is. So I'm going to run it through DNA testing in case it's a life form. I'm going to do like some electrical type tests to see whether it's electric-y, and I will see whether it's something that Alex can communicate with, because if it is electric based, then Alex might be able to communicate with it. Can't think of any more tests, but lots of tests.
Alex, how are you contributing or
Not contributing. I've been brought in here, and I'm not particularly interested. I mean, it's new and vaguely like, there's a novelty factor to it that I find marginally interesting. But the sort of when Ellie is speaking to me, my eyes go off the screensaver that's currently flashing on, and it's the old
Windows.
Windows 95 Starscape one. So I'm just sat there like zoning out. And then when Ellie comes around and speaks to me, I'm like, oh yeah, what? And then there's like sort of a vague interest, a light. So yeah, she keeps asking me to test it to see if I want to communicate with it, and I'm like, it's a gassy solid. I don't communicate with gassy solids. Maybe I could cycle through my visions to see if I can see any different frequencies. Would you like me to do that? Do I have to?
It's not a thing you can do.
Yeah. Did I not? Has this not come up before?
That is intriguing.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've noticed that I can like switch views, so I can sort of see. I can see people's bones. I can see.
You've been using this to look at women in their underwear, haven't you?
I can see people's bones. I can see radio frequencies. The heat one's quite funny. I enjoy that.
Thermal imaging.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's go through all of them. Tell me what you see.
I cycle through, and on the heat one, it doesn't seem to make sense because you'd think that the heat would radiate out from a central point, but it seems to like flash in different areas, and as the thing sort of mutates and moves, the heat patches come off in different areas, and I'm like, I don't really know what that means. I've sort of reticently plugged myself into a screen so that you can also see what I can see. As I cycle through like the X-ray one, I'm like, there are no bones.
Alex, can you roll to help? And then Ellie, you're going to roll to see what you can find out about this stuff.
Okay.
So roll 2 dice, Alex, and add your stalwart.
It's a healthy -1. That
That's
would be
a 3 in total.
3 in total.
Ooh, okay.
You destroy it.
I punch it.
I think you plugging into it does have some sort of bad effect. Do you think it's a bad effect for both of you, or does it just have like some feedback that hurts you?
I think it's got feedback that probably hurts me. It's like a weird sort of electronic scream that rattles around inside my head.
Oh, I didn't like it.
He does not like it.
Okay.
I don't like it.
So this scream echoes around your electronic brain, and you take 1 harm. When you take harm, you can either mark a box of harm, or you can choose to take it as stress instead.
I'll probably take it as stress. I don't think I would be too sort of harmed by it. I'm just like, oh god.
So you can give Ellie advantage.
I will give Ellie advantage. What does that mean, though?
It means you roll 3 dice and take the 2 best. However, Ellie, do you feel like one of your hooks is applying from being interested in what makes Alex tick? You just found out some new stuff about.
No, I don't think it applies.
Okay. That's fine. You can roll with it. You can roll calculating with advantage.
Also, this is within my expertise because it's alien physiology.
It absolutely is.
So I discard the lowest one. Great.
That was pathetic, and it literally is a 1.
So that's 5, 6, 7.
So you would normally get 1 question, but because it's your expertise, you get 2.
What here is not what it seems?
So the thing about this stuff is that it's supposed to resolve into some sort of solid form when observed.
Oh.
Like, that is the theory behind it.
Okay.
And it's not doing that.
Right.
Which suggests that there is some sort of, like, competing views trying to push it in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
What's not what it seems is that this isn't necessarily, like, something that has manifested in space, as it were. Like, it's not something that's appeared. It's an area of space that is almost being pulled in 2 directions in terms of realities.
Okay, my second question. What here could be a useful opportunity?
You can definitely find out some useful stuff from all the readings that you're taking that will get you steps towards being able to reverse engineer a drive based on this.
Okay.
I think at this point you've got the rough idea in your head about, like, the principles of how a proto-space drive, like the Conclave use, must work. Mm-hmm. But you feel like you would need to observe more closely and take more readings in order to advance that theory into something practical.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's exciting.
Dave and Vikki, are you together?
Well, I'm on our ship, I think, waiting as the main driver of the spaceship.
Are you just waiting? Are you pissing around?
I've got my feet up on the dashboard and I'm swatting at the furry dice on the dashboard.
Yeah, so the Wren is docked, is one of now several ships docked, almost like spokes radiating out from the donut ring of the station. So you're aboard the Wren. Vikki, where do you think you are?
I think I've just gone out to have a wander around.
So just sort of wandering the corridors of the station. It's quite cramped. Like the low ceilings, narrow corridors. Mm-hmm. I think there's probably, like, some form of gym to stop the inhabitants from getting stir crazy and cooped up. There's, like, a canteen. There are some living quarters, but not very many because it's only supposed to be a small science crew. What do we see? Is there anything distinctive about your appearance?
I think I'm wearing what is essentially like a regulation tracksuit from wherever I escaped from. It's pretty just like grey, practical clothes, so nothing very interesting. And I'm just I think I'm probably on the hunt for, like, something to, like, go to the canteen and see if I can find something to eat or see if there's something interesting happening, because I haven't explored much out in the world, so I'm just curiously looking around to see if there are interesting things to find or people to speak to.
Yeah, I think on the way to the canteen you come across Krillin, who is the scientist who normally staffs this station. She is a kind of a globular sort of being.
Cool.
Has taken, since visitors started arriving, to moving around on the ceiling so that she doesn't get in people's way.
Sure.
Nice. She's kind of like an orangey colour shading to green in places, and she's like, her form is translucent and full of eyes.
Yeah.
So she can look all over the place. Works in an observing station. She's perfectly adaptable.
Yeah, she is ideal. She's getting loads of use out of the gym.
And she greets you as you're coming in opposite directions and says, is there anything I can help you with?
I think I'm slightly taken aback, and I just reach out a finger to poke her on the ceiling.
She doesn't seem to be bothered by that. She's sort of tacky to the touch, but, like, your finger doesn't go in. Like, she seems to have some
just
surface
sort of
tension.
Bit of bounce.
It's like putty.
Yeah, it's cool.
Is everything to your satisfaction? I'm trying to be as hospitable as I can, but it's difficult. I'm not really equipped for it.
Where could I... Is there somewhere where I could get something to eat?
You're going the right way. There are food compilers. Just press the picture of the food that you want.
Okay. I'm going to, like, go down the corridor.
What are you going to eat? I'm so excited.
I mean, like, is it even going to be...
Space food!
Is this space food even going to be food I can...
We're about to find out.
Come up to some kind of...
It's like a vending machine.
Vending machine.
Yeah.
Space vending machine.
Yeah, so the canteen is small.
Yeah.
Again, the place is not equipped for large amounts of people, and there are already some people here. There's a couple of those glitch operatives who you can identify by implants in sort of various areas of their physiology. And there is a being here whose physiology is clearly not like suited to the atmosphere here and is in like a spherical floating armored like environment suit that like has their own environment inside it,
right?
Which has like transparent plexiglass panels so that you can, and all you can really see inside is like this sort of smoke like swarm of like little black particles moving around.
It's just Jeff.
Yeah,
Just
and they're mostly all just sort of minding their own business. You get a bit of a curious look from like one of the glitches who hasn't seen you wander around before, but nobody stops you from going up to the vending machine. Okay. And I think it has some sort of like when you press buttons, it like reads what species you are so that it gives you the right kind of food.
Okay, that's good to know.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm probably just like pressing some things. And I'm doing this more out of like a sense of wanting to have something to do rather than because I really need food. But yeah, press for something that looks interesting. Doing my finger scan.
What do you think comes out? Has anybody got anything to supply?
Ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Could be, well, I think it gives you a plethora of like. Are you human?
I think I am
fish?
human.
Yeah.
I'm not a fish.
Okay. Could be. Could be whatever you want.
I think I am
Could be a
human.
fishy human.
Human with modifications.
Okay, so you're a human. So like you touch the panel and loads of food comes up.
I reckon it's like burger, roast dinner, noodles, stir fry,
spaghetti bolognese,
curry.
Yeah. So I just...
I'm hungry.
So you're not used to this amount of choice.
I think I'm used to some kind of gruel is probably like the...
You're like, where's the grey slot button?
Yeah. Looking for the grey slot button, not seeing the grey slot button.
Maybe you go with the thing that looks most like grey slot.
Yeah, I just try the noodles.
Yeah. So what's your reaction? Like, is it like excitement, childlike wonder, suddenly there are all these choices? Or is it more like frustration, I don't know what I'm supposed to choose here?
I think it's just excitement. Okay. Yeah, just excitement of like, oh my god, there are so many things that I can pick. So maybe I'll try and press 7 or 8 buttons at once.
Oh, you get some sort of weird, it tries to compile several things at once and you get a bit of a mishmash.
Like a roast dinner burger in a ramen bowl.
Milkshake for buns.
Yeah.
Milkshake for buns!
Solidified, literally, for a brief moment, it holds the bun form and then just goes for there.
But it's like, it's an AI, it doesn't know.
It's just done what you told it to do.
I've just gone like, beep, 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 pressed a load of buttons.
All right, you have this weird combo meal. Are you going to eat that here or are you going to take it somewhere?
I think I'm going to eat it here.
So I think the only place you can sit down is like opposite the floating environment suit.
Yeah, I'm going to go and sit down there.
Which you can see something from the vending machine is like sitting under it and is being like beamed in gradually.
Okay. Just taking an awkward seat, start poking at my concoction, the slightly sticky concoction that I have on my tray, scoop it into my mouth. It's not very nice. Spit it back out again just by opening my mouth and letting it like fall out onto the tray. And then just like push the tray to one side.
Perhaps my understanding of humans is out of date. This does not seem like the normal eating ritual for humans, says the environment suit in an electronic voice.
Yeah, well, I didn't really know what to have. And I've never really eaten this before, but if this is a thing that people are eating, I don't really like it.
It almost looks like you tried to recreate the protospace anomaly in food form.
This guy is a joker.
This guy is a joker.
Zing!
Yeah, I don't know if this is a thing these days or if I could tell you it's terrible, so I'm not going to eat it.
That is your prerogative. Are you here to study the protospace anomaly?
Well, I'm not, but one of my crewmates is currently in the lab somewhere having an explore, I think. Is that why you're here?
Yes. It fascinates me. What do you know of protospace?
Not very much, to be honest. Yeah, just been mooching around. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally unfamiliar. I mean, what even is protospace? Is the question that I should have asked you first, because I don't know what it is.
Are you feeling pressured
Yeah, a little
or stressed at all?
Yeah, I think it's just occurred to me that if people find out who I am or like that where I've come from, that I could be in trouble.
Stressed enough to take one storm?
But yeah, why not?
How does that feel to you?
Just like a little bit of like that early panic feeling, the tightness in the chest, and the like, oh, I've said the wrong thing and I'm already going to get found out. Like, should I have stayed on the ship? Like that kind of like wave of panic. That I've done something that's going to blow my flimsily constructed cover of no cover whatsoever, just mooching around trying to eat gross food.
So the being in the suit is taking this as like an invitation to explain, and is starting to info dump about proto-matter to you.
It's what do we say? What kind of being are you? It's like a cloud of
a black cloud.
I'm trying to get a gas-splaining situation.
Classic gas planing.
Classic gas planer.
So it's saying, it's like proto-matter is the stem cells of the universe is one way that you could think of it. Undifferentiated atoms and matter that can become any form of matter, gas, solid, any molecule, and it's going on and on with this explanation.
I think the more I'm hearing, the more stressed out I'm becoming, because I'm starting to think that instead of taking it for what it probably is, which is just an info dump, I'm taking it to be like he's triggering a kind of experience that I have.
Oh yeah, because you kind of used to being around scientists, quote unquote, giving you loads of like techno guff.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a bit like a triggering experience of all of this stuff about like proto-matter is something that I actually am really familiar with, and more familiar
Intimately.
with than and that it's actually a kind of painful memory.
Do you try to get out of the situation, or are you going to try and weather it?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to like dramatically stand up and push my chair back and try and get out of there as quickly as possible. So I'm just running away, basically.
Okay. As you exit the canteen, you just hear that robotic voice saying to the other people in the canteen, "Was it something I said?"
I think I'm just, pressing the button to like slide the door across, and then the door slides behind and I'm just like leaning against the wall, just like breathing really heavily, and then sort of catch my breath and shake the memory out of my brain and then run back to the ship.
Dave, we didn't ask you earlier, how are you space attired?
Well, on my piece of paper here, under look, it says "cool dude." So
is that one of the options that the sheet gives?
No, I went
options.
off-piste from the sheet. I've got a brown spacey leather jacket, some brown leather trousers, brown leather shoes,
very on brand,
and some brown sunglasses.
I do remember before you did say you were wearing tight space trousers.
Very tight brown leather.
I remember
trousers.
that from before.
Yeah.
Oh, with like those like biker style like knee ruckle things. Where you get the wrinkles over.
Yeah, they're really tight at the
shades
bottom.
of brown.
Yeah, one leg is tan, one leg is dark brown.
Oh no, sorry, I meant your different brown items. I didn't really
No.
Just the trousers.
This is
Just
obviously
two
an
different
on-trend
colours.
thing for the future.
Yeah.
Is like one leg, one colour, one leg.
And my
another.
glasses, they've got tan lenses and then dark brown around the dark brown rim, so it matches my trousers.
And you see everything through
Dark
a brown
brown.
filter.
I mean, this is explaining
tan.
a lot, isn't it?
That's why when I saw the planet, I thought it was brown. It all makes sense.
half green, half brown.
I've got comms with everybody, I presume, from the flight deck. So I'm just gonna open up comms and say, "Hello, Ellie, Vikki, and Alex. This is your captain speaking. I am getting bored up here, and I'm ready to fly. Ellie, how much of this proto stuff do I need to put into my cargo bay? I am on my way.
How many times have I told you you're not the captain?
Captain Dave, taking off. And I'm going to turn the ship on.
Turn it on!
Start driving towards the
Because the ship had been off before
Yeah, it was
and
just-
you just
it was
didn't have
off.
any oxygen.
in the dark. It was off in the dark. And I'm going to start just coasting around the edge of it. Because I've seen there's a lot of people around and they're all looking really interestedly at the proto-matter. And
Yeah.
I think we want it. So I'm going to be getting ready to put it into the ship's holding bay.
So you think we're just going to scoop up all of it?
If I need to, I'm ready to
Because
scoop
it might be valuable.
I could just open up the bay doors, do a handbrake turn into it, and then fly off.
Okay.
That doesn't sound sensible at all.
But it is very much on brand
Yeah,
for
he's on brand.
Captain Dave, quite unquote.
Don't
Captain Dave.
call him that.
He's not even got
Captain Dave!
He's not even got a container for it.
As you get closer, I mean, you've flown close before enough to get the sample that Ellie's working on, but you're taken aback once again at the size of this anomaly. Like, this isn't like a nugget that you could scoop into the hold. This is
Dave.
So I'll ask Ellie how I chop it down a bit.
Chop it down. What is wrong with you?
This is
How much do we need, Ellie? I can get it. I can do it.
How much do we need?
You aren't sure at this point. You're not sure whether it's a case of like getting some and shaping it, or whether it's a case of producing a device that acts on it.
Right.
It's the idea is still taking shape. And I think Dave is definitely like taking off towards this thing to take samples against your protests that you don't actually need this right now. The anomaly begins to behave differently. Its shape changes. The roiling, psychedelic, kaleidoscopic colours of it become more uniform, and it shapes itself into sort of a circular shape, which then bells outwards into a dome, elongates in a quite an unsettling way, and light builds from it. Dave, you start to experience some space turbulence.
Can I put myself in reverse?
Don't you mean put the ship in reverse?
No, I just walk away from the console.
Assuming you do mean the ship,
Yes.
roll slick.
Okie dokes. I've got +2 in slick, and I rolled a 8, so that is a 10. I go straight upwards, go upside down, and drive backwards. No, drive forward, so I'm going backwards.
Yeah. Yes, upside down obviously being relative
Relative
in
to the
space.
position I was before.
Yeah. I think is that called an Immelman turn?
Yep, I do one of those.
Yeah, okay. Except I think in an Immelman turn you then turn the right way back up again, but you don't need to because you're in space.
Yeah.
So you're doing like a vertical U-turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm driving back towards where I came, but upside down compared to how I was.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay. Throughout the station, alarms linked to like the observation and listening systems start to light up and make various different alert noises, which all of you would be. You would have had a briefing from Krillin about what all the different lights and noises mean, and this basically means like go to the viewing gallery. Like there is something to see in space right now.
Okay.
I'm going to look out my windows at it, because I won't have made it in time.
No, you haven't. Made it.
I'm hot-footing it to the viewing deck.
I'm gonna follow suit and just be like, oh god, all these loud noises, stupid electronic rumbling as I trundle on past you.
I've tried to run back to the ship, so I'm at wherever we were docked, and there's no ship there.
You've just found the airlock shut and space on the other side.
Yeah.
As all of these alarms rage around you.
So that's a little both frustrating and disappointing. So I'm going to colour in another little stormy bit here.
Oh, you're building up.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
This has been quite a stressful experience for me.
Yeah.
First time probably out in the world, really.
Probably hungry now as well.
Yeah, exactly, because that
What?
was gross.
She's hungry as well.
Who wants a
On
strawberry-
top of
No one
this,
wants a strawberry milkshake roast dinner burger. That's terrible.
I can think, that's sounding kind of tasty.
Yeah, Alex is like, would
All of
eat.
those things, but separate.
Oh god, yeah, one after the other. Perfect.
Anyway, yeah.
From the viewing gallery and from the Wren, you see as the anomaly glows blindingly bright and then snaps back to black and resolves itself. And now instead of proto-matter, instead of the raw stuff of reality, there is a thing there. There is an object. It is colossal. It is kind of like vaguely cylindrical with lots of weird flanges and grooves, and it is just a completely alien sort of thing that none of you have seen its like before. Does anybody else want to add any details of alienness that you've never seen its like before to it?
Are there any like glowing runes on it?
Oh yeah, it's covered in glowing stuff.
Glowing
You
stuff.
can't tell whether it's like the paths of conduits or whether it's writing or
Yeah.
what the hell it is.
Can I start cycling through my visions to see if I notice anything?
100%.
Yes,
Okay,
Alex.
I'm just like hold fire. It's like literally like you know, one of those old games. Like as you click it, it would change the image.
Viewmaster.
Viewmaster, thank you. It's like one of those, but I don't have to click a little lever on the side of my head.
Oh, you should.
I think you should.
That's really good.
Okay, can I reverse it, or do I have to go all the way
Oh
around
my
again?
god, yes, all the way around. Oh, I missed it. Oh, go around.
So I'm just going ka-chung, 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 ka-chung. Do I see anything across any of the visions that I have?
Roll calculating.
Okay, okay. That is a 6.
No.
Is that a fail?
In fact, yes, it is a fail. Your sensors don't pick up anything that you can comprehend about this object.
Okay.
What you do pick up as you're cycling through and you get to like the enhanced audio version is that the team of glitch operatives who've also rushed to the gallery appear to be talking about some sort of planned strike.
Oh.
And it seems like from what you can pick up just as you cycle through your modes that they feel like this event is something that should move the timetable up.
Oh. So it's going to, basically bring about that strike a little sooner than expected. Intriguing. Ooh.
Anybody else? Reactions or details to add to the thing?
Obviously, through my glasses, that it's quite brown, so I'm going to lift them up to see what colour it actually is.
You've learned from past mistakes.
I have. I don't really know what colour it is. It's kind of all
Mottled?
colours, mottled, with
Yep.
many lovely shades and flashing lights. It looks like a big Christmas tree.
You've never seen a Christmas tree before.
A big one.
Yeah, well, I like the idea of it being sort of tapered and having those sort of flanged...
And lighty bits all over it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is weirdly Christmas tree-like. Is there Christmas in this galaxy?
Probably.
It's a big galaxy. At least one planet has Christmas.
Maybe it's like an ancient religious practice still observed by some kind of old school religious types.
The floating environment suit glides up silently beside Ellie.
Oh, hello.
You are the human studying the anomaly.
That's right. Nice to see you again, Jeff.
You are correct. I never introduced myself. My name is Rukuktu.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've mistaken you for another person I know that looks just like you.
My kind are very common throughout the galaxy, it is true.
Yes, and you're all excellent scientists. Well, all that I've met so far, anyway.
Yes, my interest is niche among our kind. My interest in protomatter, but it is good to find a fellow being who shares it.
Yes. What have you discovered? I know you've been taking a look as well.
I believe that this new manifestation confirms my theory. The decoherence of matter into protomatter was due to competing observing consciousnesses, and that perhaps this artifact comes from that competing consciousness.
So has the? I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but does that mean that the protomatter itself has decided on this new form to take because it's a resolve between the two conflicting consciousnesses?
I had not considered that possibility, but now I see that it is a good working theory. I had assumed that one of the two competing consciousnesses must have won out,
Right.
and that this artifact must belong to the other, some culture from far across the universe.
I guess that's a good possibility as well. The reason I'd come to my conclusion was that this is clearly so unrecognisable as an object to all of us that I could not conceive of it having been created by a consciousness that exists within the realms of our discovery thus far, and that perhaps it's an evolutionary part of the protomatter, like it's gaining its own consciousness. But I mean, I'm not pushing for that theory, because if that's true, then things are going to get very complicated.
We should test our theories like good scientists.
Good idea. Your lab or mine.
I will use the telescope to observe.
I'll do something else that's useful.
Such science.
Sciencing so hard right now.
Dave, I
Yes.
think you probably get
Have
back.
I landed yet?
You get back.
I'm gonna on comm say, "Get a room, nerds," and then I'm gonna join everybody at the viewing station.
So the four of you
All
together for the first time this season.
we made it.
Rukuktu floats off towards the telescope controls. Mm-hmm. The four of you are there to observe the thing through the viewing gallery and to discuss your next move.
I am just staring at it.
I'm quite disappointed because now it seems that we can't use this to make the drive that we want because it's now not the thing that it was before. It's now an actual thing.
But we still have the sample.
Or has that turned into it as well?
No,
The
that's
sample's
still in the
separate.
canister. Yeah.
So we've got a separate thing. Maybe just one of us needs to look at it rather than 2 or 3 people because that's confusing it. So maybe we need to just have one person look at it. I mean, I can't look at it. It won't recognise me. I'm just a robot.
Oh,
Maybe-
you mean observe the sample to see if it turns into
Just something that only
else.
one person wants. Maybe we're overloading it with ideas.
Is that how it works?
You're the scientist.
I'm a very confused scientist. I don't really understand the whole 2 consciousnesses observing theory. Space Master. Can you explain a bit more, or do you not want us to fully understand at this point?
So, I mean, it is like mystical things of the universe. So I think it is very in character and like sensible within the story for everybody to be a bit confused at this point.
Even
basically-
me when I'm supposed to be the expert.
Yeah, I think almost, you know how sometimes when you understand something really well, like learning new things about it can make you more confused
Yeah.
than a normal person would be. The theory that has been put is that like there is a kind of like shared consensus about what reality is, right? Like we all agree as a civilization, this is what the world looks like, and that is what this stuff responds to. So it would be the idea is if there are 2 very separate, very alien civilizations, both acting on the same bit of this raw protomatter stuff, that it would have trouble because there's no consensus anymore.
So if there were like 2 realities.
Kind of like the idea that another civilization could be so remote and so alien that they effectively live in a different reality to you. Even if you could, like, given time enough, you could fly there, but it would be so different that it's almost like it being another reality, and protomatter makes it so that it actually almost is.
And so if those two worlds get closer together, the protomatter doesn't know which one it should be conforming to.
That's correct, until there is some sort of, like, exertion of effort on one side, or there is, like, agreement between the sides, and then it settles again.
Right, okay. But so it's not literally a case of, like, 2 people looking at it isn't going to make it change, because if those 2 people agree on what reality it is that they're existing in, then it will just
And
conform
all
to
of our-
that reality.
All of our reality is the same.
Is the
reality.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say we go and land on it.
On
Yeah.
this object.
Big enough. Let's go and land on it and see what it is. Who's in?
I'll go. I mean, I'm the only one who can walk out there without getting killed, so I might as well.
Oh, that's
Perfect.
true.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can go and hover nearby and send Alex out.
We'll tie a big space
We'll
rope around
tether
him.
him.
We'll throw him over.
Yeah, perfect.
He can knock the door and say, "Hello."
Hello there! You're
right.
Irish now.
Great. I mean, I was very fluent at accents in my day, so I would of course.
Yeah,
be
if it
able
makes
to
you
do
feel
that.
better about the mission, you can adopt a character.
Do I get character backstory as well, or are we?
Yeah, the backstory is you're good at your job, now go do it.
Right. Yeah. No. I think that's good. Yeah. I think I like that. Yeah.
I know you don't have a lot of real life comparisons to draw on, but
What are you trying to say?
Alex, do you think your hook applies? You have a hook around something like Ellie doesn't respect you enough as a person. She
Yeah.
just sees you as a tool.
Yeah. I mean, It's odd because she disrespected me and then flattered me, so I think I was slightly bamboozled by it. But I think screw it, let's apply the hook.
Okay, so you don't have to, but if you would like to, and you think it'd be fun, take disadvantage on your the next time you roll anything.
I'm gonna take this advantage on the next roll.
at this point in your play, getting fails is a good thing because you can pick up more stuff.
Exactly.
Bro, so the plan is let's go to the Wren.
Yeah.
I'll drive.
Mm-hmm.
You guys tie a rope around Alex. We'll throw him on. And if there's anybody there to talk to, tell them, because you're quite big, tell them you're the smallest one of us in the whole universe.
Right.
You're the you're like
I always say that-
baby.
Okay, so I'm the youngest of my kind.
Yeah. And as the youngest, we've sent you as the envoy of humanity.
Right.
Perfect. Let's go.
But if there's no one there, we just want to observe the structure, find out what it is, what it might do.
Well, I mean, will you be able to get a feed from what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
We'll use the space rope, not the old rope. And then he can send his feeds back to us with the space rope.
You mean electric rope?
The space rope.
Cable. Just call it a cable.
So I'm going to head towards the ship and get into my driving seat.
All right. As you reach the airlock to board the Wren, Rukuktu is there with a squad of 5 roughneck-looking types. They are sort of armed with like simple serviceable pistols and with simple body armor on, a variety of different species. You haven't seen them on the station before, so they must have been like staying in one of the docked ships all this time. I could not help overhearing that you are mounting an expedition to the anomaly. I would like you to take these passengers.
You've been listening to Merely Roleplayers. You can look us up wherever you find podcasts, on Twitter @merelyroleplay and at facebook.com/merelyroleplayers. Reviews and kind words are all very much appreciated, and we hope you'll join us again for our next episode.
Okay, you get one question about these folks.
Okay. One questions.
What are they wearing?
Are they nice?
What's their favourite food?
Is it? What is it? Roast burger milkshake?
Roasted a burger with milkshake buns. Wow.
Apart from the milkshake buns, I'd be
Roasted a burger,
down
yeah,
for
solid.
that. Yeah.
If
With
it-
a side of milkshake.
What about Yorkshire pudding buns?
Ooh,
That'd
yeah.
be quite good, wouldn't it?